Do you find yourself with large scale prints on your patterned paper and wonder how to use them in your card making? Hi, I'm Jess from JessCrafts.com, and I'm here to help you make the most of your crafty supplies and time. So let's get making. Today I want to talk about papers. I'm going to use 6x8, but I think you could use this on 6x6 as well, where the page has a very large design on it. And how can we use those on cards without making scraps too? So I'm gonna kind of like one-up it. So rather than just showing you how to make them, I'm gonna add that extra challenge of no scraps. So the first thing I would say, and if you haven't watched my channel before, I'm all about no scrap card making with patterned paper. So you can check out a few more videos on that for using, more standard patterned paper without making scraps. I use 6x6, 6x8, 12x12. I make A2 cards, 5x7, etc. So A2 is a pretty common, popular size for hand making cards. When you're using these large scale prints, I recommend going a little bit bigger on your card. Maybe doing 5x7, which I'll use today, or going up to a full sheet of 8.5x11 paper, standard in American, and folding it in half to make a 5.5 by 8.5 inch card. You should still be able to get envelopes for these. And if you like to donate your cards, I have resources on jesscrafts.com, like places that accept handmade cards for donation. You could check in with an organization and see if they accept a variety of card sizes. Okay, and then the other thing I would say is 6x6 would also be a great size. So you could take a 12x12 piece of paper, cut it in half, then fold that 6x12 inch piece in half to get a 6x6 inch card as well. So going bigger with your card is my first recommendation. The next thing that I would say to approach these, and I kind of wanted to come up with like a method that was a little bit standardized so that you wouldn't have to have the exact papers that I have to make it work. So what I think about when I see one of these papers is, where is the large panel that I can cut for this particular card? So here I see that I could either use the large Stay Groovy, or I could use this van on the bottom. Now, some of my papers are already cut. I had trouble filming this video, so I'm being flexible, but I did tape them back together so I could kind of demonstrate where we started. So here I see there's those two large chunks, so I need to cut it in half. And so I cut this 6x8 inch piece to a 4x6. 4x6 works excellent on a 5x7 card. But what about the rest of this paper? So what I would recommend doing is, after you've cut your large panel, cutting what is left of your paper into either like long strips, or cutting it into quarters and spreading it across the card. So in this instance, I took the other side of this paper, I cut it in half, and then in half again, and I spread them out across the four corners of the 5x7 card and added a sentiment, and I was able to complete the card without making any pattern paper scraps. I was able to do that same thing where I cut off the bottom half on this paper here, and it would actually work on either side of the paper. And so I was able to cut off the bottom into a clear 4x6 panel, cut the top in half, and then I cut it in half again to spread it across the four corners of the card. A lot of times though, you'll see that the design might be in the center. You could do the same thing. I'm cutting the same 4-inch tall by 6-inch across panel. So I cut 2 inches off the top, cut that in half, 2 inches off the bottom, cut that in half, and then I was able to spread it across the card. I did flip over and use the second pattern on this one as well. You can of course keep the same pattern a lot of the time, but like here it is a bigger, bolder pattern, whereas on the back it's a smaller pattern, so I like that, but you can make your individual choice. And now I have all those cards with no scraps. I could do the same method with all three of these, so it's a pretty versatile way. These I'd be cutting the 2 inches, probably 2 inches off the top or bottom. You may occasionally have to measure, and I put them on 5x7 cards, but maybe every once in a while the design in the center is a little bit bigger than 4 inches, so I do recommend that you measure it. And we're gonna talk about that a little bit more with these examples. So here, the Santa, I can cut a large panel, but it is going to be I'm trying to remember my measurements on this one. It is 1 inch off of each side, but this is 6 inches. So 6 inches across here. And so I have a 4 by 8 inch panel here in the center. And so if I go to that card, that is an 8.5 by 11 sheet of pattern paper folded in half. That's 5.5 by 8.5. My 4 by 8 will fit nicely in the center. And then I can take those 2 strips on the side and I can either place them on either side kind of as long strips and go across, or I can cut them in half like I did here and make those panels. So even though I'm now working with a completely different kind of design, like it's really long and I can no longer fit on a 5 by 7 card, I'm using that same idea. I'm just changing up the measurements slightly. And then I did the same thing with one more here, and I can show you that I just used them as longer strips. This was because for this particular one, I believe I could only cut 1/2 inch off of each side, and so I thought that that was a little bit narrow to do those little corner pieces, and it looked better. But as you can see, this is a very large design. It took up almost the entire 6 by 8 sheet, but by making it a large card, I was still able to use it. Let's talk about one last challenging piece of paper. I have this that's 6 by 8. Is a really, really large heart. In order to fit the entire heart on a panel, the panel basically needs to be 6 by 6 inches, which won't really work very well with either a 5 by 7 or an 8.5 by 5.5 inch card. That 6 by 6 panel would overhang either of those. So that's why I'm turning to my 6 by 6 card base. However, if I cut a 6 by 6 inch panel, then there is no other room on the card to put that 1 inch strip from the top and bottom. So what I've decided to do, and you can use this on any of the cards, is to put them inside the card. So I have a 1 inch strip on the top and bottom on the inside of my card. It adds a nice touch to the inside of my card, yet leaves me with no patterned paper scraps, and then I was able to add a quick sentiment. So in this case, if you instead wanted to maybe put a mat around this large panel, and then you could take those yellow pieces, that's the back side of the paper, you could place them inside of the card. Or even the similar thing, with these, if you're thinking, oh, I'm not getting to see much, or I'd really like to put a mat around this, and then it gets kind of small, things like that, then of course you can add those instead to the corners of the inside or the top and bottom, and it's a quick way of using scraps in any situation. If you have any of these larger scale prints in your collection, I hope this video has encouraged you to go and get crafty with some of them, make some no scrap cards with these large scale prints. If you found this video helpful, here's another video where you can find more ideas for enjoying your crafty time and supplies. Let me know you like this video with a share to your crafty community. Subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss the next template or tutorial, and check the video description for product links. See you in the next video.